Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
Vet Rehabbers. Hey, Anae, how you doing?
Hi, Meg. Good to see you. Good to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited. The big reveal. So I think we need to wait for a few people to come online before we can do any revealing. What do you think?
No, definitely. So let
Okay.
us know if you guys are here with us and where you are and where you're from and what you're doing and how excited you are to find out what the theme is for this year's Vet Rehab Summit.
Yeah,
Um,
we've actually got two reveals that we're going to do.
a secret personal one.
Yes, I've got a reveal, and then we've
Big
got
one.
the Vet Rehab Summit big reveal. So yeah. So guys, let us know whereabouts in the world you're from. So just post a country or a flag or something like that. We love to know where our vet rehabbers are from. We've got vet rehabbers from like 52 different countries all over the world. I think we've even got a vet rehab in Iceland.
Oh, wow.
We do, yeah. It's amazing. When I saw that, I was like, wow, there's vet rehab in Iceland.
Well,
Super cool.
there are some amazing vet rehabbers in Finland, right? Like a few of our lecturers come from Finland, so that's cool.
Yeah. It's close up there, very cool. So Megan Esterhazen says, stop it, just tell me. I'm glad we're building up the suspense, guys. All right.
Oh,
Northern
great.
Ireland. Rachel is in the UK, in Cambridgeshire. Awesome, guys. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. So, Anae, shall we start off with my big reveal?
Yes,
And
please. I have been bursting to tell people.
it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Guys, the big reveal is that I am, the camera, expecting a baby. So baby number 3 is on its way. I've already got 2 girls and it's another little girl. So yeah, a baby vet rehab. I said to her, and a little baby vet rehab on the way, and she's like, I don't like it when people do that. They like label their kids when they're so young to be in a certain profession. So yeah, I'm sure she'll be whatever she wants to be, but all my kids love animals, so I'm sure there'll be something animal related. At the moment, both my kids want to be horse riders.
So Meg's from Rachel, Claire, Megan, and myself and Erica. Congratulations. Your first
Thanks,
very
guys.
congratulations. Very How far
Thanks,
along
guys.
are you now, Meg?
So I'm 24 weeks now.
24 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I know. Still a little bit of time to sleep.
Yes.
It's been a while. So Sky, my youngest, is 6.5. So she's nearly 7 at the end of the year now. So I think I'm fortunate in that I've actually completely forgotten. Or the lack of sleep and everything that I have to go through. And hasn't. She keeps reminding me.
Forgotten. I have not. No.
All right.
Okay. Great.
Cool. So let's move on to the next big reveal. All right.
The
Guys,
real reason we're here.
we love at Online Pet Health, we love the Vet Rehab Summit. It's like our annual event. We spend most of the year organizing it. It seems like it's just sort of one day, but I promise you, there is so much behind the scenes. And in the beginning of the year, Anae and I sit down, and it always amazes me because like every single year, it's actually quite easy to come up with the theme and everything. We just it's like what's in the moment. So we're very excited about this year. It's going to be different. We love to try and innovate, try and change things up a little bit. So we'll be telling you about how we're going to be doing Vet Rehab Summit this year. But I think the big thing is you guys want to know what the theme is. So you guys can do some guesses while I'm talking. So any guesses what you think it'll be? Let us know. While you guys are typing, I'm going to hand it over to Anae. Anae, what is the theme of 2021's Vet Rehab Summit?
Oh my gosh, no one is going to guess because I've asked you guys this question a few times already and no one's come close. So our theme for this year, and it is, you can obviously tell that I had a hand in it because it is research meets reality. So yeah, it's all about kind of where research and clinical work come together or don't come together, because that's often the case as well. And we're really going to just be unpacking and diving into that connection and misconnection between research and real life.
Yeah. And I think it's so important, when we were chatting about this theme, I started to think about my journey in vet rehab. And, like when I look back now, I'm like horrified at all the things that I used to do when I used to read research. So, I'm going to share it with you because I think that, and I'm hoping that I'm not the only one who's done this. But, I remember like in the early days, always wanting to have like scientific basis to what I was doing. And so like I would have a thought process, let's say, for example, about cruciates or whatever I was treating. And I'm like, this is what I'm doing. And I would go and look for the research. And then I would find the research that would back me up, right? And so they call that confirmation bias. And then I would be like, yes, well, you see, and that would back everything that I was doing until somebody pointed out a research article that said otherwise, or I stumbled upon a research article or a comment with a reference to a research article that wasn't really in line with what I was thinking. And then I was like, no, I'm just not going to look at that. Like that doesn't work for me, And then I started to become confused because then I was thought, well, like this one says this, and then this one says this. And I never ever used to look in the early days, even as a vet. And for some reason, I'm not sure, we weren't really taught how to analyze research. So like if there was a research article and it had like a sample size of 8, for me, it was just, that was the research that was proven, and I would look and then I'd go down to the conclusion. What did they conclude? So I started to realize now, all these conclusions of all these research articles are contradicting one another. And then I got so confused. And then I didn't know actually what to use. And so like, this is really what we want to get at. Is like, we want to, this year's Vet Rehab Summit, we're going to have a lead up to the Vet Rehab Summit. So we're creating a 30-day Facebook pop-up group, which means that Facebook group will only be happening for 30 days before Vet Rehab Summit. And there's going to be loads of Facebook Lives in there, guys, loads of training, free CPD. A lot of them are going to be CPD registered. So this is going to be our free area for Vet Rehab Summit. And we really want to dive into all these ways in which clinical research fails us in a way, and how we can analyze them and make sure that we're actually using research correctly in our practices.
So Meg, I think that you're giving far too much away about the actual summit, because we still have loads of reveals like that have to come over the next couple of months. But we have a competition for you guys, right? So we're ready to give away the first ticket to the Vet Rehab Summit for the year. So Meg, do you want to tell them what the competition is?
No, I'm going to leave it to you.
Okay. So you guys can do one of two things, because I know like talking about research is hard because you can never remember that person's name. Like, who are you referencing? So we're giving you two options. The first one, and this will be the winner, if someone can give us a good answer to this question, you will win. Okay. Can you tell us about the one case or condition where the results from a research paper changed everything for you, changed your perspective, the way that you thought about it, the way you approached it, and made a big difference to that case? If you can tell us about that case and that paper, the more information, the more details, the better. You will be our winner for today. If you can't, okay, and you want to opt for the easy option, what is the research article that you cite most often to your clients or when you're chatting to veterinarians? So the one that you kind of have in the back of your mind all the time. It's easy to reference, it's easy to think of, and it's very clinically applicable. So it's always relevant whenever you're working with your patients. So if you can tell us what that research article is, then that will put you in the running to win that first ticket. So let's hear your guesses. And then Meg, I actually want to talk about your information, your what did you just call it? Your bias.
Confirmation bias.
Right, confirmation bias. Okay. Yeah. Definitely that's not outdated, because I did that the other day. Yes. So I wanted to buy myself a pulse electromagnetic field boots. And so I was like, well, I want to write something about this, but I want to write that it works, because otherwise, why am I buying the boots? It's expensive, it needs to work. So I'm like, I'm going to look for all the research that says it works and forget about the rest. So that is definitely a thing. But I think that the real, like the solution to that is that we need to actually just read the papers. So instead of just going through the abstract, if you read the whole paper, you understand what they've done, and then the results make sense, right? Because if we just read that this is their conclusion, we don't know where it came from, how they got to that conclusion, why they got to that conclusion, what were the parameters they used. Probably it's not at all what we are using or doing, so then it's not relevant to us. So in terms of looking at research and what you want to and not use in your clinic, I think it's really important to actually just read it, whether or not you understand what a good quality research paper looks like or not. You're going to gain value from just reading it.
Yeah. No, exactly. You got to, and that's what I love about your research refreshes. So for those of you that are online Pet Health members, you'll know the research refreshes that Anae does on a monthly basis, where she actually goes through the whole article. Because I think that's the thing, is that sometimes to take the time to read a whole article and then you realize at the end, well, this didn't help me at all. So what I love is that you choose all the relevant ones for us, and then you go through them and create a little video for us, so that it's quick and easy for us to get updated on research. Yeah. So thanks for all those research refreshes that you do.
Thanks, Meg. They are hard work, but they're one of the highlights definitely of my job. I love doing them, and I try and find relevant ones, but sometimes I miss the mark a little bit and just go for something interesting.
And obviously research is an area in our field that is lacking. So like we really need research. So for those of you that were at Vet Rehab Summit 2020, you would have known that we had a discussion group all about research. Kiki Hausler has started a research working group globally. So if any of you are interested in getting involved in research, and really what we want to encourage is for people to get involved in clinical research. I think, most of the research that gets done is usually needs to be heavily funded, and there's usually companies that need to back that. We don't have the pharmaceutical companies in our field to be able to back that. To be honest, most of the stuff that we're doing is not really in their interest. So we need clinical research, and we can do that by everyone being involved. So if somebody in South Africa, somebody in Brazil, somebody in Germany is doing research on gait analysis or whatever, and we all pull together our data, we can start to help one another and start to build a whole lot of data from all over the world. And then things become more relevant because we have higher sample numbers instead of just one person doing it at their clinic. And, one of the things that we really realized, and I did a podcast with Lilani Alvarez, and, the vet's perception of our profession is really important, and they need more education. And the vets are always saying, well, where's the research? And so this is why we need to do this, guys. We need to, research is so important in our field. And all of us can be involved if you want to be. So we'll put the link to that research group. And I see that Kiki just created a Facebook group for that, for the research group now. So we can also put the link in the comments if you guys want to join.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I think you need to send Kiki a direct message, though, because she'll need to invite you into it. I think that's the safest option. Yeah. So get hold of Kiki if you want to join that group. We're always looking for more people to be involved. We need loads of mentors because there's lots of us who've never done research, who have great ideas and want to get started, but we need some people to say, you need this, and this in place, or go there and there for more information, or refine your method a little bit more, or these are the pitfalls. So as many of those people, the experienced guys who can join us, the better. And I think that it's been really like the great thing that I've enjoyed from doing the research refreshes is that I've been seeing more and more clinically relevant papers being published over recent years. And that is so exciting. That's so exciting when we have like I love the retrospective studies that the CNAPs have done, because they're like, what is happening with this specific condition? How have we been treating it for the last 10 years? And what have the outcomes been? And that just gives us such a beautiful snapshot of what it looks like, and we can give our clients so much information from that, right? If you go for this treatment option, this is what they've had, this has been the outcome. So that's great, just information. But on the equine side, oh my gosh, we've just done a research refresh with, now the lead researcher, I can't remember now, but Gillian Tabor was part of that. And they looked at the effect of dynamic mobilization exercises over the short term. So we know what they do over a 3-month period, but what do they do over a day's period? So that was really cool. But I'm not going to chat too much about that, because I have like a very long list of research papers and researchers that I love reading their work. So very, very cool to see more and more clinically relevant stuff coming out. We need more on the small animal side as well. So really looking at outcome measures. And a good example of that is Haley and her team's Finnish Canine Stifle Index. Like, that's a really applicable, easy to use outcome measure that we can use in practice. And we need more of that. So very exciting stuff.
And what about looking at crossing species? If I think about myself, I always just look for canine or feline, and never looking. And I mean, I do also look at human. So I'll look at human canine, but I never ever, when I'm looking for research, have crossed over into the equine world to see if there's something that I can extrapolate, because there's different research happening everywhere.
Or into the human field, right? And that's such a good point, because it's hard say for myself as an equine practitioner, it's already hard to read small animal research, because it's not like, I have to really find the links in the patients and how is this connected and how isn't it connected, to try and find where it's relevant. And if I have to go even further into humans, I've never practiced on humans, I didn't study anything on humans, I have no clue. It becomes really hard to say, okay, well, that's this kind of tendinopathy. What kind of tendinopathy am I comparing it to in a dog or in a horse? And what does this result mean for me? It can be really hard to read that research, so we avoid it. We just don't. And where I find the best value is actually speaking to practitioners in that other field, instead of going and reading their research, which is a slog and really brain deadening and lots of metabolic energy. Speak to them and chat to them and compare cases, and then you get the clinical reasoning behind how they've taken the research and applied it or haven't applied it, where their shortcomings are, and then you really get to understand how the pieces connect, and where the relevance lies for your patients. And you get to learn really cool other things as well. I attended a dissection the other day, and there was a saddle fitter with me at the dissection, and we were speaking about the cutaneous trunci muscle, because that was a really a muscle that came through in our fascia series lecture last month very strongly. And she was talking about a holding line that saddle fitters look for as a sign of pain. And that holding line is exactly where the cutaneous trunci muscle runs. So they're looking for tension in the cutaneous trunci muscle that's been there chronically, because otherwise you wouldn't see that holding line. And then they take that back to say, well, there's some kind of chronic movement dysfunction or pain in this patient. It might be related to the saddle, it might not, but that's not something that I've ever looked at, is the tension of that cutaneous trunci muscle, or the holding line. It actually has a name. That's amazing. So I would never have learned that if I didn't sit with a saddle fitter over a purely, we were just discussing thoughts, ideas, research, findings, observations, nothing specific. We were talking about our observations. It was amazing. So yeah, that kind of thing has so much value. So really, I think talking to other professionals in other industries is where the value lies when it comes to crossing species.
Yeah, I mean, that could be farriers, could be behavioralists. There's so many other professions, that we can be talking to and getting information from and sharing. That's what it's all about, sharing, hey? Never stop learning from everyone.
Exactly. And that is, I think that's the biggest thing I'm excited about for our summit this year, because that's exactly what we're doing, is we're putting 2 lecturers from one from canine and one from equine together in one lecture, and we're making them discuss a certain specific topic and dive into the research and dive into the reality where they meet and where they don't meet and how it's different in each industry. And hopefully we're going to get some really interesting discussions out of that.
Yeah. So we're calling it our dual webinar concept. It's going to be really, really cool. So this is the new thing that we're going to be doing this year. So we wanted to change it up a little bit, instead of logging in and we'll be having also an interactive session. So there'll be a lecture, and then there'll also be time for everyone else to have their opinions. So those conversations to actually happen afterwards. And we've got more than enough time for people to give their opinions, to question things, to question the lecturers. We really just want interaction and discussions about everything we're going to be chatting about. So it's going to be an amazing learning experience. I think that, the information that's going to come out of there is going to be, awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah.
So this is one to attend live. Like, there's no way you're going to get that value by watching the recordings. So we've set it up so that you will be able to, so that live will be the best way, right, for you to attend. So definitely mark that in your diaries, guys. The 13th of November is Vet Rehab Summit. It's a Saturday. You will need the whole day. It's going to be mind-blowing.
Go right now to your diary and block the day. Let me know in the comments if you've done it. Say, block the day. We've got loads of people joining us. Thanks, Barbara from Switzerland. Hey, Anne, thank you for joining us. And I see Kiki's on. She said, yes, she's finally started the Facebook group. Contact me if you want to join. So you can see Kiki's contact there. But you have to be there live, guys. This is one of those days which you're not going to want to miss. So you don't want to say, oh, I can't believe I forgot to block it off. Do it now.
Do it now. It's April. November's far away. Like, take every single diary. If you guys have an online diary, have a diary on the desk, go and block it out in every single diary. Book it as the Vet Rehab Summit. So we haven't had anyone reply for our competition yet. Guys, we want to give away this ticket.
Free ticket to Vet Rehab Summit, guys. So obviously, if you guys are watching this as a recording, you can still post. So hey, Agnes, thanks for joining us. But please post. Maybe you should repeat the question, the competition, because maybe people join us that haven't heard.
So you can do one of 2 things for me, okay? If you are the first person to tell us about one case or condition where the results from a research paper changed everything for you, changed your perspective, your thinking, your clinical reason, and made a massive difference to that patient, I want to know the patient and the research, okay? The more details you give me, the better. If you can answer that question for us, you will win today that ticket to the Vet
Rehab Summit, guys, 2020 on 2021, 13th of November. That's the date, guys. I don't think we said that to block it off.
Yeah.
And then the
other option, if that one's a little bit tricky and you can't remember now, because I can't remember one. What is the research article that you cite most often to your clients and when you're talking to vets or whatever? What is your go-to research article that you love to cite? I have like 3 in my head just sitting here. So that one's easy. Come on, guys. Tell me the research article that you refer to most often.
Yeah, for me, and it's been a while since I've started it because I haven't been consulting in a while, but it's that one where if you have a cruciate rupture, 60% of cases rupture the collateral side. I used to love that one. It's a really, really good way to get people to do rehab, because then they'll be like, oh, just had one, can't have another, have to do another op, must do rehab.
Yeah. No, I love that one as well because it sets their expectations right, so if it happens, they're not devastated. They're like, okay, it was probably going to happen. We're going to be fine. You know, the cruise ship patients that I've worked with where it has ruptured, they were so quick to get into surgery, get out, done, beautiful, because they knew it was coming. So I love that one. Should I tell you guys mine? But then I'm going to take that option away from you, and then you're going to be sad.
You can't use the option that I said now either, because then I'm helping you.
Exactly.
Okay, tell us one. Tell us one. Don't tell us all three. Just tell us one.
Okay, just one. So the one that I have been using most often would probably be the research by Clayton and her team about the dynamic mobilization exercises, and exercises, not stretches, because that's a very important point. So that would probably be the top one on my list, and their effect on the multifidus muscle and on core strength and on posture and etc. So that would be my top one. Yes, I'm not. Yeah, there are so many.
No, don't say more. Cool. Should we talk about? We're nearly done, guys. But I thought maybe we could mention some of the lectures they can expect to hear.
I was also thinking that. So as we've said, we've teamed our lecturers up, right, to discuss some specific topics. But I'm not going to tell you what the topics are, because that would be too much to reveal in one reveal.
Way too much revealing.
I'll tell you who the lecturers are. So this is the one I'm most excited about. Is going to be between Lowry Davies and Sheila Schulz, okay? And that match is like a match made in heaven, because they both have that super like research-based approach to life, and the way that they ask questions and approach questions and just make you think, oh my gosh, they're my favorite lecturers. So that's going to be at the top of my list. And then another team that we have is Leilani Alvarez and Kevin Hausler, which I also think is going to be really amazing. So both both quite veterinary orientated with the rehabilitation to add to that. Both researchers, both phenomenal in their field. So very exciting. And then the third match is Melissa King and David Levine. And I wonder if you guys can already guess that topic. And then the last team, I'm going to keep a secret for now.
Yeah, let's keep that one a secret. I see Kiki has started off with the competition. So she said comparison of overground and treadmill gait analysis. Not surprising from Kiki to be talking about gait analysis. Thanks, Kiki, for that. Guys, you got to start posting. A ticket to Vet Rehab Summit's up for grabs.
Yeah, so very, very exciting stuff. You guys keep following us and check what we're doing for more big reveals. We're going to be sharing more and more details as we go now. Meg, when are ticket sales officially opening? We have a date.
Yeah, so you guys still have access to the Vet Rehab Summit 2020 till mid-May. So mid-May, the new website will launch for Vet Rehab Summit. But if you go to vetrehabsummit.com, there is a button where you can click to get notified of anything that's happening for Vet Rehab Summit 2021. So go get onto that email list. You will only get from those emails just anything that's happening for Vet Rehab Summit. So as soon as tickets open, as soon as we've got more information of what's happening, the link to the pop-up group, which you guys are not going to want to miss, there's loads going to be happening. So yeah, basically from mid-October to mid-November, you want to book some time every single day to be able to go through the pop-up group to see what's happening in there. So yeah, lots happening. But yeah, go to vetrehabsummit.com and just sign up to that email list to get notified. But follow us, and we'll be able to. We'll be releasing stuff over the next few months, all about Vet Rehab Summit.
I mean, this topic is so important, right? I don't know, I think that you guys agree, because you seemed very excited when we revealed the topic to you. But it is just for us to be, for us to increase our credibility as professionals, right? Because that's something we all struggle with, is credibility between other professionals in our industry, within the multidisciplinary team. for us to do that, we have to work, like we have to be evidence-based in our practice. For us to be evidence-based in our practice, we need to know the research that's out there. We need to know how to apply it. We need to know how to talk about it, how to reference it, how to speak about it, like how to recognize when something is a good, like a clinically applicable paper or results, and when it's not, and when we should add a whole bucket of salt to those results, or when we should just walk away, or when we can literally take it and apply it to the patient that's in front of us. So I don't know. To me, we couldn't have chosen a more important topic to discuss at this time within our industry. We need to get more evidence-based in our practice, and we need to get better at talking about it, right? Gone are the days when we're going to say, the research says da-da-da, and we're going to do this with your patient. Gone. You're never going to say that again. From now on, you're going to say, listen, this paper was published by Torres et al., and it compares this overground to this, and this is why we do this. And now you understand. Gone are those days when you don't reference
Can't be vague about the research says. We got to know what the research says and what is the research exactly. Love it today.
Okay.
Cool, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Anae. I know this is like, you can see how excited Anae is. I mean, listen, I'm excited about this, but Anae is like so excited about this. She's like the research person. When we were planning this, normally what happens is Anae and I will sort of interview one another. And I said to her, I think I'm going to interview you for this one because this is your baby. This is what you love.
Very exciting, guys. It's really exciting. We should all be excited about research. Yeah. We should.
Well, we're going to make them excited. That we've got a whole year to do it.
Listen. So in addition to this competition, if you guys are watching the recording, then, post your answers. Go and think about it and go and look for those references. It's fine. I know it takes some time, but we are going to be running competitions for Vet Rehab Summit tickets related to research for the rest of the year. So really start thinking about the research that you use and don't use, and get ready because it's coming. Okay, so whatever we throw at you, you guys are going to be ready.
Yeah. And if you love our theme and our big reveal, give us a little heart. You can do it in the comments or heart us, please. We'd love to get feedback. It's sometimes lonely for us because we all the way down here in South Africa. I know you guys are all over the world. So all your feedback on these lives is so great for us. So thanks to everyone for the comments. Thanks to everyone for joining us, and looking forward to a year of focusing on research.
Yes.
Cool, guys. Thanks, Anae.
Bye.
Everyone, thanks for joining us.